Okay. All right, let's see here. Are we going to do this? Okay, we are live. We're just going to get set up. I'm going to post the link onto Facebook so people can get there a little even easier. Okay. Hi, everybody. We're going to get started in just a few minutes.
Sam, I can still let somebody in if they join on Zoom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll ask all of the Zoom participants to remain muted.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yes, you can still let somebody in. Nice. Here. Surprising.
Is it signal strength or?
No, signal's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you need help with the name?
For some reason, just can't see how both of these spotlighted,
Yeah.
but it's not connecting that to the. It's not spotlighting both onto YouTube.
Sam, people are having trouble getting onto the YouTube link. What is the YouTube link again?
I'll post it in Facebook.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yes, I can tell you the Zoom number. It's 659. I will make you host. Okay. Okay, Melissa, I'm gonna make you host. Okay, technical glitches are, hey, thank you, are settled. I think we're ready to get started. Okay. Okay, we are ready. Okay. Do you want to be in front of there, or do you want? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Welcome everybody. We're gonna start. We're gonna start with Hine Matov together. Hine Matov Manai, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov.
All right, welcome everybody. It's really good to be together and to be together for this reason, for so much joy. We have been waiting for this moment and praying for this moment and imagining it, and it's an honor to be together, all of us. I just want to start by welcoming Sharon and Terry and John and Liz and Misha, Danya, and Noah. And also Elaine and Steve and Rebecca. I know it must be very hard to be experiencing this through the screen, but we've become very adept over this last 14 months or so of feeling real feelings, even moderated by the screen. So we welcome you and we wish you all Mazal Tov. We're so excited and grateful for the opportunity to celebrate something really beautiful in the world today. I want to invite you wherever you are, if you're here with us on Zoom right now, to just take a moment and you can say hello in the chat. And if you have a little blessing you want to offer, we'll have more blessings later on, but I want to just give you a chance to say that you're here and where you're calling in from, so that later on, Sam and Kayla will be able to look and feel your presence, even as they know that you're here surrounding them with love right now. In a moment, we are going to bring this baby into the space. She has been brought outside right now for a moment. Well, we're all outside, but she's a little bit outside this circle so that she can be brought in by the amazing Sarah Goldfinger and Melissa Balaban, two dear and beloved friends who will be the kvaterin for this ceremony. And as they come in with this beautiful child, we'll invite everybody to say the words that we traditionally say as we bring a baby into the covenant and into the space. Brucha Hava'ah. May you always come as a blessing. We're going to take the baby and put her down for a moment on Kisei Eliyahu, on Elijah's chair, which is just over here to my left. And with this, we leave a seat open for Elijah the prophet at every baby naming or Brit Milah, just like we leave a cup for Elijah at every Seder. And the hope here is that in some way, this child may be part of bringing about the redemption of our world, a world of love and dignity, a world of freedom, a world of blessings for all people. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Rabbi Ronit.
Oh, I have the honor and the pleasure of introducing the ritual that we are going to use to welcome this beautiful life into our community and into the Jewish people. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring the echoes of Abraham and Sarah, of Abraham and Sarah, into this space. And I believe that Meir and Della are going to help us to do so. And what we're going to have them do is to wash this little baby's feet, to welcome her into the Jewish people, just as Abraham welcomed the strangers with their dusty, dusty feet, which he will have someday, but so far has the cleanest little sweet, soft feet one could ever imagine. As they wash her feet and welcome her into their family as the amazing, amazing big brother and big sister we know that they are, we're all going to sing together Or Chadash, words of new light and new possibility and new hope. Or Chadash shel Tzion ta'ir, v'nizker kulanu le'era le'oro. Or Chadash shel Tzion ta'ir, v'nizker kulanu le'era le'oro. Or Chadash Tzion ta'ir, v'nizker kulanu le'era le'oro. I think Mayor and Ordella may have something that they want to say. Okay. All right. Well, if you change your mind a little bit later, you let us know, okay? Okay. So we're going to now take the opportunity to wrap this little life in a talit. This is a special talit that was given to Sam by Claire, and so it holds important and special meaning to the family. The talit, which the tradition tells us has a reminder with its fringes of all of the mitzvot. And so as we wrap this little life in the talit, we hold the echoes of thousands of years of tradition, of community. And we also think of what does it mean to feel the echoes of her life that is ahead of her. Just as she's wrapped in this talit right now, someday she'll stand before the Torah and receive a talit, becoming bat mitzvah, and then someday a talit overhead as she, God willing, finds loving partnership, just as her parents have. So too, just as you're wrapped in this talit today, may you always feel the love of family, of tradition, and of past and present and future. All right, now's the part, sorry, the time that you've all been waiting for, which is to hear the beautiful name that Sam and Kayla have chosen for their daughter. And I have the honor of offering the Hebrew recitation. מי שברך אמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את הילדה הנעימה הזאת, ויקרא שמה בישראל. I have the name, but I don't have the blessing. Thank you. Orly Rafaela, בת הרב קהילה דוידה, והרב שמואל אלכסנדר. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you. יגדלו בבריאות שלום ומנוחה ויזכו את הורה לראות בשמחתה ובחופתה בתורה ובמעשים טובים, שנאמר עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו, ונאמר אמן.
Thank you. May the one who blessed our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, also bless this girl. And may her name be called Orly Rafaela Bat Harav Keila Davida Veharav Shmuel Alexander. May she be called Orly Rose Rotenberg. May she be raised in health, peace, and tranquility. May her parents merit to see her life fulfilled. May it be a life of Torah, a life of loving partnership, and a life of goodness in the pursuit of justice. As it is written, may they yet flourish to old age, vigorous and fresh shall they be. Let us say, Amen. Amen.
Okay, we're now going to welcome this little girl into the covenant. We welcome, just as she's entering into the covenant, we say that so she, too may she enter into a life of Torah, of loving partnership, and the pursuit of justice and kindness in the world. Wisdom, love, and justice, the pillars of this covenant. So I'll recite parts of it, and you can repeat after me. We can all welcome her in together. Kashem shenichneset labrit. Ken tekanes leTorah, lechupa, ulemasim tovim. Amen.
So we're gonna invite Sam and Kayla to share some words that they've written, a letter for the baby to help her understand why this name was chosen.
Okay. So I'll put this up a bit. Orly, your first name is in memory of my grandfather, Herbert Jackowitz, which is a Germanic name, which means Herbert means shining warrior. And your great grandfather, Herb, had a personality that shined. I always left my visits with him feeling at ease, feeling warm, like his light was shining on me. His light was full of joy and humor and wisdom and understanding. And that is why you are Orly, my light. You are our light, and we hope that the light of my grandfather shines on you. Your middle name is Rose, connecting you with a number of important women in our lives. Rose was the name of my great-grandmother, Rose Rotenberg. Rose was the middle name of your Ima's great-grandmother, Doris, and Aunt Betty, so you're part of a line of other women with Rose as their middle name. All women who generously poured out love into this world. And your Hebrew name is Orly Rafaela. Rafaela means God is my healer. And we gave you this name as a prayer for this moment, as healing for a world suffering from COVID. May your birth be a blessing for healing, for children around the world who've lost parents and grandparents, for those who've had their livelihood stripped away from them, for those who right now are in a hospital waiting to get home, for those whose communities have been and their families have been torn apart because of this illness. Rafaela means Adonai is my healer, so we say Rafaenu Adonai v'nerafeh. Heal us, Adonai, we shall be healed. And Orly Rafaela, may your coming into this world signal the beginning of lasting healing for us for Israel, and for the whole world. Let's say Amen.
Amen.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us and celebrating in person and also from across the world. I love you all and can't wait until I can celebrate with you and hug you and introduce you to our daughter. Dear Orly, I'm so glad and grateful that you are here with us. Even though it feels like a long time that we've been expecting you, there's so much about you that has surprised me. Your existence, for starters. I believe every successful pregnancy is a blessing and a miracle, but that your Abba and I opted to bring a new human into our family and the world at this particular time when the world has been turned upside down was certainly not something I ever expected. That you are a daughter was another surprise. I was completely convinced we'd be having a son, which is why you ended up naming yourself. None of the names your Abba and I thought of suited you. When you arrived, we had to throw away our list and start from scratch. And I have also been surprised, Orly, that although you are on the smaller side, the ultrasound doctor kept on describing you as petite, you are remarkably strong. I could have guessed this from your karate kicks in utero, but here you are blowing us away with your small but mighty power. You'll learn, Orly, that your Abba and I are planners. We like to know what's coming and anticipate contingencies. With nearly every decision we've made together, we've left very little up to chance. But you and this past year plus, and God, threw our expectations and plans and assumptions into the air. These past many months have highlighted the truth that almost nothing in life is certain, and that life is so very precious and fragile. My hope is that when, God willing, you are old enough to read and understand this letter, we will look back at this moment and remember it as the light at the end of a long, dark tunnel, that the upheaval hopes and plans and expectations were thrown into the air will have marked the beginning of a new era, a time of tikkun, a time of healing, a time of honesty, a time of good change. You have arrived here, Orly, right at the moment when we are emerging from so much loss and suffering. Families and communities are reuniting. Spring never felt more like spring. We have hope. It's been so hard, but here we are, and here you are, Orly, our light after the darkness. May you continue to surprise us. May you continue to be strong and healthy. May you come to know and feel how loved and cherished you are, and just how precious life is. I love you.
I found myself reading a lot of Mary Oliver in preparation for this moment. But what I want to say to you actually comes instead from the Talmud, which might not in the end be a surprise and maybe plays a little bit more to brand. But you should know that the Mary Oliver has been absorbed into the system in your honor. I think that you both know my favorite baby Torah, because we have been together now for many years and we've celebrated many smachot together, including Meir and Della's celebrations as they came into the world and were brought into the covenant of the Jewish people and into our community with so much love. But I'll share it with you now, and maybe you'll hear it with new ears. This is the story that comes from Masechet Ta'anit. The Gemara is talking about a student who is prepared to take leave of his teacher. And Rav Nachman says to Rabbi Yitzchak, "My teacher, give me a blessing." And Rabbi Yitzchak says the following to him. I'll tell you a story, he says. He says there's a man who is walking through the desert, and he's hungry and he's tired and he's thirsty. And thank God he happens upon a tree. And the tree, like all the trees here on Sarah's property, is bearing the most beautiful and sweetest fruits. And the shade of the tree is pleasant, and there's a stream of water that's flowing beneath the tree. And so the man sits down and he drinks the water and he eats the fruit and he sits in the shade and he's able to recover his strength. And when he gets up to leave, he says the following. He says, "Tree, tree, how can I bless you? If I say that your fruit should be sweet, your fruit's already sweet. If I say that you should have a pleasant shade that you offer the world, you already do. If I say that there should be a stream of water that flows beneath you, it already does. So instead, I will bless you with the following. May it be your will that all of the saplings which they plant from you should be like you." So, I love this on so many levels. I love, first of all, that it is an inverse to the devastating Shel Silverstein story about the tree who takes, who's taken from the boy who takes from the tree with reckless abandon until the tree, which is the source of all, is totally depleted. And the giver, who is filled only with love, realizes that love can be a decimating force in the world. This story feels like a tikkun to that tale, and I love that it comes from our tradition and has been standing for thousands of years. I also love that this is the story of a student who's preparing to leave his teacher and asking for a blessing on his way out. It feels like this moment was in some ways preordained, because you never would have asked us for a blessing, but now you have no choice to listen as we offer it to you. And I also love that there's in this story a recognition that some things in the world are so beautiful and so bountiful that the very best thing that we can do is to bless them, to bless you, that you receive from the world some hint of what you already have given it. So today we're welcoming Mayor and Della's baby sibling into this family and into our Jewish community, but we are also beginning the preparation for releasing this family out into the world as you go on the next step of your journey and leave Los Angeles. And we're all trying to contemplate as you prepare to take leave of us, given that we've gotten so much from you over these many years, so much sustenance and so much love, how shall we bless you? In our tradition, we really work to see every single child as a force that is unique and unprecedented in the world. And our job as rabbis and teachers is to find what is unique in every person. And that's so much a part of the B'nai Mitzvah process and the work that we've been doing together for so many years. So we believe that every child is unique, and yet we also bless this child that she will be a lot like you, that she will be one of the saplings that emerged from this most beautiful and virtuous tree. So baby Lebell Rotenberg, Orly, how shall we bless you? I want to take a minute and ask everyone who's here in person and everyone who's here with us on the Zoom to think about one characteristic of you, one moment, one blessing that we have all received from Rabbi Kayla and from Rabbi Sam and from Mayor and from Della. There's so many moments that we've had together over so many years. And I want for us to bless her that she is like a seedling that emerges from this great tree, but not only in the abstract, also in the very tangible. So I'm going to give one example of a blessing or a blessed moment from each of you. And then I ask all of you to think of yours. And if you're here with us on the Zoom, you can actually write yours into the chat so that we can collect them this way too. So in July, in the summer, in the midst of all of the fear and uncertainty of those times, I took a little break and went out of town to try to get away and breathe again. And I listened after Shabbat to Shabbat morning services, because that's, what we do. If you take a Shabbos off, you go on right after and hear what the rabbi taught, so you don't miss anything. And there was Rabbi Kayla Lebell leaning in close to the computer screen, as you do, and telling us that all of our crises that are happening around us, that all of the struggles that we're all experiencing don't have to be death or illness in order for them to be real. You said that it was a triumph for us to even be alive in these times, and that we needed to be tender to ourselves instead of trying to evaluate if what we were struggling with was actually worthy of being concerned. And you were so honest and you were so heartfelt that I believed you and we believed you. We all did. And people are still talking about that sermon even many, many months later. And Sam, the image I'm going to hold of you with Mayor and baby Della to heal is you jumping in with almost no notice every Shabbat that you were there at Ikar for all of those years before you were ordained and went on to serve at Sinai, sitting beside Ross and Gary with that box drum that I'm sure has a name that I don't know, with this sticker on it that says, "Turn off your damn phone," which I always felt was hilarious because it's something you would absolutely never say to anyone. I never, in all of this time, heard you speak a word that wasn't gentle and tender and non-judgmental. And then here you have this message that's just coming off your drum. And it just made me feel like there's a kind of complexity to you and a kind of hilarity to you that is a little bit more hidden from the world, but I know is part of what makes you such a perfect partner for our beloved Rabbi Kayla and such an extraordinary rabbi and person in the world. So I want to invite all of you now to join me in reflecting back to Rabbi Kayla and Rabbi Sam, to this family, some of the blessings that they've given you. I want to ask you to capture a little moment. It doesn't have to be a life-saving moment. It can be a joke or a word of comfort or a phone call in just the right moment, because this couple, this family has brought so much beauty to the world. And we hope and pray that this baby will hold some measure of the grace and the love and the wholeheartedness and the sensitivity and the kindness that you do in the world. And we can't imagine that she wouldn't. Orly, we bless you that you be fully yourself in the world, unique and different and completely you. And we also bless you that you should be a lot like your parents and a lot like your sister and a lot like your brother. May you radiate love and goodness always. May every day be an opportunity for reflection and growth. May our Jewish traditions, these songs and this spirit fill your days with a sense of connection and purpose. May you live with the seriousness of mission. May you always sense joy. And wherever you are in the world, may Los Angeles always feel like a home to you. May you love deeply and may you be loved deeply. We love you very much. Amen. Okay, we're going to ask Rabbi Kayla and Rabbi Sam to close with a parent's blessing.
Yisimech Elohim Kisara Rivka Recha B'Leah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Mazel tov! 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 Mazel tov!
Okay, thank you, everybody. Okay, we're gonna stop the live feed. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. The Zoom will keep open for a bit, though. Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you.